In April of 2022, when I was 16 years old, I was building something and I needed to cut some posts down. So I got my axe, which had a plastic handle. It was the head was one-sided and not double-sided. And I got to cut down some sweet gum trees. And while I was about halfway done through cutting down my sweet gum trees for my posts, whenever the axe broke. Uh, well, my papa gave me his axe, which had a wood handle and it was double sided. But the thing about this axe is it was really really old. The handle was bent, it was weathered, and it wasn't rotten, but it was really old axe. But the head was double sided, so I sharpened it up and I used it to cut down the rest of my post. Well, whenever I swing an axe, I don't wear any gloves. And anyways, I got done cutting down all my posts whenever and I got them put up. And the next day, I looked at my hand and I noticed my finger was swollen up. And I didn't really, it didn't really mean much to me. I just kind of ignored it, and days went by and it got bigger and bigger, swelled up more every single day, and ended up about a week went by and it was swelled up so big that my finger was kind of stuck like that, and I didn't know what it was, so I went to the out to the Baptist hospital and they looked at it out in the emergency room, and they looked at it and they didn't know exactly what it might be, but they knew that my finger was infected. Now, the doctor at the time at that hospital told me that I was probably going to lose my whole hand because the infection was so bad because I'd let it spread for so long. But, you know, that news kind of bothered me a little bit, but I mean, you just kind of got to let stuff like that, can't let it bother you, whatever happens, happens. Anyways, they refer me to go to UMMC, so that's what I do. That very night, it was probably 2 in the morning, drove to UMMC and they saw me there. And they took a look at it and they didn't know why it was swelled up either. But I stayed at the hospital for a while, and the pain was really really bad. It was horrible pain, and they gave me a lot of morphine and painkillers and such. But it took them at least 2 days to figure out what was wrong. They did a CT scan and they found something in my finger. It was a splinter that had worked its way in there really deep, so deep that it couldn't come back out, and it stayed in there. And it was from that really old wood, and it stayed in there, and it got really bad infected, and they ended up having to do surgery. They put me under and they cut my finger open and washed all that infection out and cleaned it, sewed it back up, good as new. My finger is perfectly fine. I have a very big scar on it, running down the length of the underside of my index finger on my left hand. But other than that, I'm pretty blessed to have, been able to keep my finger and keep my hand after that whole ordeal. So from now on, anytime I swing an axe, I always wear gloves because I don't want something like that to happen again.